Hi, and welcome to another edition of Pickup Lines. I am CL Brown. That is Jimmy Kelly on the other side of this Skype. And
14
we
and
are
8.
trying to give you some college basketball winners for today, February 29th. We're picking 5 games starting in the ACC. Let's get to it, Jim. You got any prevailing wisdom from last week's games? We both went 3-2.
3 and 2 is good. 14 and 8 for the year is even better. Uh, it'd been nice if I would have had some inside information from the insider on my man not playing for
We'll get
Carolina.
to that in a minute. We'll get to that in a minute.
That one hurt.
All right. Well, let's
I came down with the flu after that.
we all did. Um, let's start with Florida State is a 3.5 point favorite at Clemson. Seminoles dominated the first meeting between the two, but that was back in December. What do you think about that game?
Clemson's been tough at home, but I'm a believer in Florida State. They're the real deal. I think they go to Clemson and get it done. And I think they win by 9 to 10 points.
I agree with you. Florida State is now in first place in the ACC thanks to Wake Forest upset of Duke and
Go Deeks.
Clemson has beaten who they beat in Louisville. They beat Duke at home. They beat NC State at home. It's been a tripping ground for good teams playing in I don't even think playing in Little John Coliseum, but Florida State, man, is just too deep and too big and too
Big and
everything.
athletic. Yeah, they're just
Yeah.
good. They're
So I'm
legit top 10.
going with the nose there. Now we're skipping up to a 4 o'clock game, North Carolina at Syracuse. And here's where apologies are in order because last week we both picked Carolina to cover against Louisville at Louisville. We did not know when we made the predictions that about 30 minutes before game time, both Garrison Brooks and Justin Pierce were going to be scratches for
My insider
Carolina.
let me down.
So that changed everything about how we would have picked that game. But right now, as of 11:26
I
a.m.,
put that one on CL Brown right there.
can't put it on me, man. Right now, everything looks good for Carolina going into Syracuse health wise. I don't think there's going to be, knock on wood, any kind of crazy changes in circumstances for these picks. So I'll let you start with this one.
Orange is only a slight shade off of red, and we know how Carolina plays against red teams. NC State, they dominate, they own. They'll take the 5.5, buy it up to 6, get an extra half point there. Take Carolina plus 6. A healthy Carolina. I
Well,
think maybe CL Brown can enlighten us.
I'm taking the orange in this one. Syracuse is expecting 29,000 in the Carrier Dome, which is crazy to me, given that this is like a last place team. Like legitimately, Carolina is in last place in the ACC, but still a marquee name on the road, gonna draw fans. But I mean, I just don't. The only team Carolina's beaten has been NC State in their last 9 games. So I don't have confidence that Carolina will cover this. I don't have confidence that they will shoot well against that zone on the road in the Carrier Dome when most of these guys that's going to be in a rotation haven't really played there. So I'm going with the orange, man. They're going to be beating that drum that they beat before they score their first basket. It's going to be an annoying ringtone in in the ears of the Tar Heels.
It'll be loud for sure.
All right, Duke 3.5 point favorite at Virginia, 6 o'clock game. It's kind
Duke,
of odd that this isn't a game that's going to determine, number one.
first place.
Yeah, in the ACC. It's been that way the past few years.
Yeah, it has. Duke, I just think Duke will get after it. That was a bad loss at Wake.
Bad loss.
Got to keep the big guy out of foul trouble because he should dominate inside. And their offense runs through him. But I think they'll take care of Virginia. I know Duke's not been good on the road, but they're gonna have a little more focus after that loss at Wake, and I think they'll take care of Virginia.
They're going to have a lot more focus after that
Yeah.
loss. Coach K was not happy. I think to your point about Vernon Carey Jr. for Duke, One of the things that they've been talking about him becoming better at, and Mike Young for Virginia Tech said this after they played him last week, was his ability to pass out of the post and pass out of double teams and even anticipate when it's coming. Virginia's pack line defense is famous for the doubling the post, having big man, big on big doubles. And I think Duke will handle that. Duke is also, for all the success that Tony Bennett and Virginia has had in the ACC over the past few seasons, Duke has won 6 of 11 as of the last 7 games outright against Virginia. So I think the Blue Devils will cover that 3.5. Moving on, we haven't really done a lot of Big East these segments, but we're going with Seton Hall at Marquette. Marquette is basically a home favorite, 1.5 point favorite in that 2:30 start.
I like Marquette at home. I mean, I think they got the best player on the floor in Howard. I'll take Marquette at home.
Miles Powell has something to say about that at Seton Hall. Seton Hall beat them easily in the first meeting in January. They won 69-55. Marcus Howard was the only player for Marquette in double figures, and he had 27. I think sometimes Marquette can kind of be stargazing when Howard gets on his shooting rolls. So I'm going with the Pirates on the road. Hate taking too many road teams. I've already got 3 road teams in this, but I'm going with the Pirates in that. And the last game of our segment, Auburn at Kentucky. Kentucky is a 6-point favorite in Rupp Arena.
Kentucky's hot. They're playing as good as anybody, but I think Auburn's going to play with them. I think Kentucky will win, but a close game. 2 to 3 points come down to the last possession or two. Give me the Tigers.
I've gone back and forth on this one too. Initially, I picked Auburn.
Back and forth should be a no play.
Initially, I picked Auburn, but as you said, Kentucky is a hot team. Their last loss was against Auburn, at Auburn on.
Somebody picked that one too. FYI.
What'd you say? You won that game, and I lost on Kentucky that game. So I'm sticking with the Cats at home. Auburn is 48-2 all time at Rupp Arena. Straight up, that's not against the spread, but their last win in Rupp came back in 1988. I think Kentucky's just a different team at home in general, and specifically, I think they will want to avenge that 75-66 loss at Auburn, show how much progress they've made. So that will wrap it up. There are a lot of good plays, though, Jim. You have something else, just a bonus pick you want to throw out there for the people?
If you have a bad day, you can get it all back on the Maryland Terrapins at 8 o'clock tonight.
You can get it all back.
Michigan State is not good on the road. And Maryland's been playing pretty well. I love Maryland at home against Michigan State.
Okay. Well, there it is. Well, thank you for tuning in to Pick Up Lines for entertainment purposes only, of course.
Of course.
We'll see you back next week, hopefully talking about some undefeated picks for the week. Thanks for tuning in.